evening, ladies and gentlemen. I guess we should say welcome to Gretzky night in Canada. It's just astounding the way reporters have flocked into this building, let alone the crowd that has come from all over the place to see the Edmonton Oilers, led by Gretzky, against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Mickey, Bobby, this should be quite a spectacle.
Well, you've got a spectacle when you get Gretzky in town, Bob. They're a tremendous hockey team all around. There's a lot of guys out there other than number 99, but Glenn Sather really has this hockey club playing pretty well in the first half of this season.
Wally Harris, the referee, has just dropped it in. And Weir for Edmonton shoots it in over the line, and behind the net it goes. Back there is Bob Mano. He's out there with Boynestruck for the Maple Leafs. Coming out to center on the wing is Martin. Took the shot. Fuhr had to watch it carefully, and he hangs on. A 19-year-old Bobby Hull. He was coached in his pee-wee years by Glenn Hall. Now that should tell you something.
Glenn Hall was one of the most fantastic goaltenders that has ever played this game. He was just a fantastic guy and a great goaltender.
Have a look at Glenn Sather, Bob, behind that bench, and what a job he's done with that hockey club.
Mano with a screen shot. The first save by Fuhr. Kept in by Paymont. Scores! The Toronto Maple Leafs take a 1-0 lead on young Mr. Fuhr. And what a beautiful play from the corner for Aubin.
Well, something unusual the Leafs haven't been doing here in Toronto, getting off to the quick start, but some good heavy work by Paymont. And look at Aubin go for the front of that net. Bobby Fuhr didn't have much of a chance on that one.
No, he didn't. You can give the credit, a lot of that credit to Paymont. He did the muscle on it. That kid played with Bobby, against Bobby in the Quebec League, and he could score goals. I think he scored over 90 goals.
There's Aubin again, clearing it into Paymont. Martin gets set, and Fuhr with a little shaky as he grabbed that one. Held on to it. 26 seconds into the game. Aubin giving the Leafs a 1-0 lead. Here's how it happened.
Well, there's that good work by Paymont in there with that good hard slapping action, almost a slash. And he comes up with that puck and gets it out in front. Kevin Lowe really giving it up to Paymont, but Paymont some good work in that corner over there. And Aubin, Johnny on the spot to knock it in. He's quite a goal scorer.
Mano also got an assist on that goal. 1-0. Toronto leading. They're in again. Maloney went after it. Chasing him is Riviere in the corner. They bump for it. It goes back to the net, and Paul Coffey, 57 points on the season. Top defenseman in the league, shooting it right down the ice. Trying to lead the pass for Gretzky. He just missed it. Don't have to tell you the number of Gretzky, now do I? He's out there at center ice for Edmonton. Here come the Oilers, and this is the smooth Paul Coffey. Put the shot on Larocque, and he makes his first save. I'll tell you, the first minute and a half of this hockey game, the Gardens is alive. Maloney couldn't stop it. There's Gretzky. Beautiful pass. Chance now. Rebound. Lovely. Can't find it. Curry was put in the clear by Gretzky. It comes back. Edmonton with pressure on Riviere. That hit a skate in front. And the Leafs trying to clear it now. Maloney coming to center. He played it in over the line, and Fuhr covering up for Coffey. Here he comes again. Paul Coffey up to center. Shoots it in. The Oilers change as the play comes in back to the net. Scramble in front of Larocque. And he has to be careful. He's down to hang on. Now they're ready. 1-0 Toronto to the right of Bonnie Larocque. They get set to drop it in. Gretzky got it back to the line. A quick shot by Hicks is grabbed by Larocque.
It's a second face-off in a row now. Toronto was lost in their own zone. Silton a few moments ago. And there Hicks was a couple of good shots from the blue line. Bonnie Larocque looks very sharp again in the Toronto goal.
Gretzky at center for Edmonton. Got the draw. Up over the net it goes. It's cleared on the boards by Maloney and out to center. Siltonen turns with it. The Oilers backhanded in. Larocque has to cover up, and Salmi played it into the corner for Robert. He was stopped. Hicks took the shot. Maloney trying to clear. Couldn't get it out. Kept in by Anderson in the corner. Back of the net. Went by Gretzky to the other side. Oilers from the blue line. Siltonen. Great save by Larocque. Gretzky was right on top of him.
You notice, Bobby, just a moment ago, Messier dumped that puck blindly behind the net. It's incredible. The Oilers are doing this not only with Gretzky, with all their sentiment, blindly throwing it back behind the opposition net.
Well, of course, Gretzky has had such a great lot of success coming from behind the net. I guess the rest of the team figures if he can do it, they better get doing it.
Why not, eh?
You'll see him likely go from behind the net and over into the corners, too, with the puck.
Messier is number 11 on the draw. Mano takes it back to the net for Toronto to Robert. He can't clear it out. That's Gretzky back of the goal. Into the corner. Anderson got it back out front. It's deflected right out Larocque by Anderson. And Larocque is sharp again in the early going of this game. Toronto leading 1-0 on Aubin's goal.
So look at young Silton, and boy, can he fire that puck from that blue line. He had a shot, as I mentioned a few moments ago. The Oilers like to use their defensemen quite a bit. I think we figured out the other night in Edmonton that Edmonton defensemen figure in roughly 30% of their scoring, which is rather a high average. You really can tell they like to use those points quite a bit in the offensive zone.
The Maple Leafs, led by Salming, starting out, hitting the line. Up to center, Salming shoots it in. Comes to Robert. He slapped it through the crease. Maloney trapped it along the boards, fed it back of the goal. Now covering up Doug Hicks. Played it ahead. Knocked to center ice. Curry didn't see the initial pass. Oilers have to come back to regroup. This is Siltanen hitting center. Siltanen coming in. He looks dangerous on Mano. Trying to drop it back. And Mano stopped him. Oilers have it though. That's Lumley getting it in front. Curry was covered. 3 Leafs break out of the zone. Mano, good play to Boschman. Boschman up the line, trying to set it up, and here comes Gretzky. Stop! Just inside the line, he goes back for it. Robert had stopped him. Nearing the 4-minute mark of the opening period. Long pass to Lumley. Here's Lumley going right in. Can't get a shot. Maloney got back and made a great defensive play to tie up the Edmonton Oilers. And he was in all alone. Icing called against Toronto. Tonight's game is coming to you from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. This is a big game. The Leafs lead at 1-0. 4:05 gone in the first period. Another big one in Montreal tonight. Philadelphia is there, and we'll be showing you the goals from that game. Now we're set. Edmonton at this point out shooting Toronto 8-3. But the Leafs have the only goal of the game. Aubin scored it from Paymon and Mano. Anderson to center. Stopped at the Edmonton blue line. Kevin Lowe played a pass on an open wing. It goes down the ice. This will be icing as Bob McGill is back to touch it. And icing is called against Edmonton.
That first pass coming out of your own end is so very, very important. We always figured if we could get that first pass from the defenseman on the stick on to the guy that's in the move, we're breaking out and away we can go.
Bobby, so much has happened to this man Gretzky over the last, well, this season, but over the last day or so. 200 people at a press conference yesterday when they arrived from Philadelphia. And he has been hounded all day today by photographers and various meetings. I don't know if that helps. I somehow doubt it.
Well, I had a little meeting with him and suggested don't get involved in everything. Everyone wants a piece of them. They only want 5 minutes, but there are 505 minutes.
That's Hughes trying to set it through to Gretzky. Missed him. Salming holds it with a skate. He went off balance. Coming back is Derlego to help. Derlego hooked a high one. Down the ice it goes. Coming back, Kevin Lowe. Takes it in the corner, back to the zone net. Tries to move over after it. Anderson forechecking for Toronto. Anderson trying to knock it loose with 5. And Weir takes it. Weir's pass, stopped by Salming. But that's Lowe covering up for Edmonton. To Fogelin. To center ice with Weir. This is Hughes on the right wing. Hughes was bumped by McGill trying to go in. Hunter looked for the loose puck, but Larocque decides to smother it.
So far, it seems that the Leafs are doing a darn good job of getting on the Oilers in their own zone. They're not letting them get started, get those big rushes up the ice, although Edmonton did have a rally of a couple of minutes where they didn't get the Leafs out of their own zone, but they're forechecking right now very effective about it.
I think they're pinching with that defenseman where the play is coming out on that side. That defenseman is staying in and pinching in there, and they'll have some success with that.
Matty Hagman has 19 goals for Edmonton. He's at center ice wearing number 10. The draw is there at his skates. He can't play it, though. He was tied up perfectly by Aubin. And the Leafs shoot it high over the glass at the far side, and it's into the crowd. There is Hagman.
Not a great skater, but very methodical. The basics of his game, very, very good. He passes well. He makes great plays. He's a very heady hockey player.
One of the 3 Finnish players on the team. The others, Curry and Siltanen. Comes right back to the blue line. There's the shot. That's knocked off by Larocque off to the corner as Riviere let it go. And the Leafs shoot it down the ice again. That's Coffey, and icing is called against Toronto. Boy, the Leafs came out, and I suppose, Mickey, with all the attention centered around Edmonton and this particular game tonight, it has to do something for the Maple Leaf players, and they showed it when the puck was dropped in at center ice.
There's no question about it. We've noticed before that the Leafs usually do not come out that strongly in the first period, although Nicolak would certainly wishes they would, but they seem to get stronger in the second period. But here they've come out very quickly.
Here's Edmonton with some pressure on again. Larocque down, but the shot was deflected as Anderson tried to pick the far corner. Amont lost it near the Edmonton blue line. That's Anderson knocking it back in his own zone as they try to wind up. A free skating team, this Edmonton Oilers machine. Out to center, the pass skipped away from Martin. Now he gets a break and goes in with it. Martin tried to get in position, did. Pass to Boynestruck. A weak shot was off the net. Aubin from the corner takes a look. Back to Boynestruck, took a shot. Deflected just wide by Martin. Kept in by Aubin. Boynestruck will get it again. At the blue line, he cleared it back in the net. Aubin is in hustling all over the place inside the line for the Maple Leafs. Gets in front now. Aubin scores! That's 2 for the young man, and he's full value for that one. He did not stop working. 2-0 Toronto.
Now some good spade work in the corner there by Aubin and Terry Martin. There's Aubin, you see, all alone in front of the net, and he just drilled that thing right off that far goal post. Again, Fuhr with no chance on the play, but the Leafs on top of Edmonton again, causing them to make some mistakes.
See where the play came out of the corner. Came out of the corner behind the net. Aubin didn't lose any time getting it away either. He got it away quick.
And you notice he moved back in front when he did his forechecking job and got in position. The puck came to him, and it's 2-0 Toronto. We'll give you that scoring play in a moment. We get a chance, but right now, Edmonton is on the move. Siltanen shoots it in. Curry on the other side was stopped. Long shot for the blue line. Larocque saw it deflect, and then he cleared it over the glass. 2 goals by Aubin of Toronto, 2-0 the Leafs. That second one at 6:33 from Martin and Boynestruck. The first one at 26 seconds. Toronto 2, Edmonton no score. From the draw, Mano kicked it to one side. Salming of Toronto puts it out to center ice, and Siltanen has it. Got it back in over the line. Gretzky falls. Mano gets it up on the left wing. Maloney is coming in after it, but Siltanen is back there. Siltanen starting out. Long lead pass to center. Coming in is Curry with Gretzky going in front of the net. Curry in the corner, back to Lumley. In the corner is Lumley with Curry. Curry tried to get away from Salming. Robert picked the opening to get it up to center ice. Nearing the 8-minute mark of the opening period, 2-0 Toronto. That's Hicks clearing it up, but Salming brings it back, and then he was belted by Hicks and fell. Gretzky appears to want to do something now. Here he is to center. Gretzky leading this attack. Wants to go all the way. Now waits for help. He's bodied by Salming. And the Leafs clear it out over the line. Oilers bring it back in, though. That's Lumley centering the Curry right in. And a beautiful save by Bunny Larocque. But great pressure exerted by Gretzky and the Oilers.
Here we go. This all started, Bob, when Borje Salming took a run at Gretzky over by the Leaf bench. And you can see the dander was up. Some of the Edmonton players coming in to get into this thing. Jari Curry, it's his second excellent chance, all alone with Larocque. It's the second time he hasn't been able to handle a puck body.
The puck was bouncing when he got it on his backhand. I don't think he really wanted to go that way, but the puck went to his backhand. It put him on his backhand.
A good play by Lumley to send Curry in all alone again, and look at this. Just happens to lose the handle. He can't quite, as you see, he doesn't get much wood on it, but again, Bunny Larocque holding his ground out there.
Looked like me when I had a penalty shot once. I went in on my backhand with one of those hook sticks.
Well, that was the days of the hooks, was it?
Yes.
You're lucky to hit the end of the rink with those hook sticks some of those days.
Gretzky back to the net, centered it. Gretzky again gets it back to the line. Lariviere closing in. Takes his shot, it's deflected. A scramble, Gretzky is after it. The backhander and Larocque is unbeatable so far.
Some pretty good action around the Toronto Maple Leaf net, and Bunny Larocque. Gretzky with a couple of opportunities. And again, Larocque hanging in there. Right now, Toronto leading 2-0, and Edmonton out shooting them 12-3 at this point.
Notice how Wayne got that puck away. He was falling forward. It came on his backhand, and he still got it up in the air and made the goaltender make a save on it.
Reminds me a lot of a guy by the name of Cornway. The puck used to follow him away around a lot in the hockey game.
Gretzky, Brackenbury on the right wing going back to the net after Salming. Brackenbury got a stick on it. And I think we have the first penalty of the hockey game. Wally Harris calling it. As well, they were starting to rough it up over the last 40 seconds or so. And as you pointed out, Mickey, it came after the check thrown by Salming on Gretzky. With a score, Toronto 2, Edmonton 0. This is Hockey Night in Canada on CBC. Salming gets the call for roughing.
Well, there's a look at how it happened. Boy, he gives Brackenbury a couple of pretty good shots in the back of the head there.
Well, Brackenbury, he's going to start things moving when he gets out there.
So Edmonton with a man advantage now, and now the play is called. We're getting another penalty right in front of the net.
Looks like it's going to be Messier for Edmonton, Bob. Very, very unnecessary penalty when you've got a man advantage and Messier in front of the net. If it's him alone, we'll have to wait and see. He's questioning Wally Harris there now, but it looks like Messier alone, and that'll even up the sides.
Slashing call against Messier. He's off.
It's a bad penalty to take when you've already got a man advantage in a power play, Bobby. You've got to take a little bit of that action in front of the net.
Especially when you're down 2-0. You should never, ever get involved to get a penalty unless you want to take the other man with you. Then that's a good penalty.
So they're 5 aside. And Boimstruck and Mano are on for Toronto. Vive and Derlego. 2-0 Toronto. Coming up to the 9-minute mark of the first period, this is Bill Derlego. A high bullet shot went by everybody and over the glass. Philadelphia is in the Montreal Forum tonight. We have a goal there.
Out shooting Montreal 6-5. 12 minutes and 13 seconds left in the opening period. There is Gainey. Gainey working in on that left side, takes the shot. Bouncing to the far corner, and picking it up is Adams.
We didn't quite get the goal for you, but it's 1-0 Canadians. Here's Gretzky for Edmonton. Gretzky dropped it beautifully, but the Leafs got back to break it up as Coffey missed the drop pass. Derlego comes in with 5, and he was hit hard. And he seems to be injured. Hughes checked him. A heavy shoulder check, and Vive went sprawling.
It looked like Vive may have tried to jump up over top of the Edmonton player. It didn't look like a dirty check or anything at all. You'll have a look at it here. Vive busting into the middle of the ice to take the pass. Right there, he sort of jumped on his own, Bobby.
He did. Oiler defenseman coming across, and he tried to jump over top of him. His momentum carried him into the Oiler player.
That goal of Montreal, Bob, by the way, scored by Pierre Mondu. That's a big game down there, Philadelphia at Montreal. The Canadians really have not been playing very well lately, having their problems.
Incidentally, Vive, as you can see, has been awarded the captaincy of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Sidler officially is still with the team, but is not playing. And here's Rick Vive, the captain.
I think a good choice. Rick, he comes to play every game. He's a kid that you want to lead the club, and I think it was a very good choice. Although I'm sure we all miss Darryl very much.
Toronto 2, Edmonton no score. Nearing the halfway mark of the opening period. There's Vibe, freewheeling it. Up over the line, score! Good choice. I suppose so. What a bullet shot. Leon Thornton as he got it over the line. 3-0 Toronto.
Well, we'll have to wait and see if Fuhr was screened on this play. There's no way you should really score a goal from out that far. He beat Fuhr completely cleanly on that play. And it really doesn't look on the replay like he was screened, Bobby.
Did it hit the defenseman's stick a little bit, maybe?
It may have.
Could have. He may have just been, I might have been just a little bit angry at that last check. He looked at Harris as though maybe he thought there should have been a penalty called.
Certainly
a little more adrenaline flowing there in that shot.
Rookie Vibe's 28th goal of the year.
Unassisted at 9-12. And the Leafs. Martin coming in now. Rolling in front. And Paymon is covered up. Fuhr scoops it up. Throws it behind the net. The Oilers down by 3. Desperately trying to get something going. And they still have not reached the halfway mark of the first period. Here's Weir keeping it in. Slides a pass over here. Hunter got it back to the line. It comes back to him. Weir goes back to the net. Mano all over him. Weir gets the stick on it. Now he's forced to hold it with a skate. It comes loose. They get it back again. And finally, they decide to call it with 4 players in on the boards. Danny Gallivan tells us about the first goal in Montreal.
Well, here's a look at how it all happened. Mondeau starting the play out, back to the point to Langway. You see Mondeau when he dumps that puck off, goes to the front of the net on the deflection by Lachlan, and bingo. Pierre Mondeau, ever Johnny on the spot, and the Canadians lead it 1-0.
I'm sure before the night is over, we'll get Danny on describing some more, because with those 2 teams there in the Forum, there will be plenty of scoring. Here we've got 3, and they all belong to the Leafs.
Very unusual situation for the Toronto Maple Leafs. One, as I mentioned, Nicolak would like to see more of, but they've come out of the gate just flying here.
There's Hicks taking a shot. Larocque cutting the angle, stopped it with a stick. Aubin bumped on the boards. He has 2 goals for Toronto tonight. There's Aubin to Martin. One man is back for Edmonton. It's Stiltonen, and Martin is in to test him now. Martin, a great move. And Stiltonen got a stick down and deflected it high into the crowd. 5 seconds left in Salving's penalty. 10 seconds in the penalty to Messier.
Isn't that funny the way it's all happened here? All this hype today about Edmonton and Gretzky, and look at this, 3-0 Toronto.
I was just going to say, sometimes that goes against a team. If Toronto wasn't up for tonight's game, they never would be up, and they came out right from the opening gong and had the puck in the net before the first minute was up, and they haven't stopped.
There's Benning trying his shot. That did not miss by much. Paymon stopped back of the net, and Weir lost it in front of the goal, but covering up was Kevin Lowe, and he gets a long pass away down the ice. Larocque stops it back there. Melrose coming out. Played it to the line. This is Benning. Through the middle to Aubin. He's got 2, remember. Back into the Paymon. The rebound. And Fuhr stopped 2 in a row. At the line, Melrose stops it. Lets it go. Aubin went after it. Rebound again. Here's Aubin looking for it with Paymon shooting. That's stopped by Fuhr. Terrific action inside the Edmonton line, and the Leafs stay with it. Martin is belted hard and not flying. Puck comes to center. D'Amico, the linesman, went for a fall. We've got everything so far in this game. Fuhr stopped one with a stick. The Leafs changing as the play goes on. Here come the Edmonton Oilers. That's Messier. He took a shot, got it back as it hit a leg. Mano blocking it. Robert for Toronto. Comes to center, scooped it from there, and it's stopped by LaRiviere. LaRiviere gets it again. Coming out. Long pass on an open wing. It slides into the Toronto zone, and Salming has it. Salming over here. This is Maloney coming out for Toronto. The long pass on the right wing was a good one for Robert, but he was checked right away and couldn't make a play, and now it's called on the offside. This game is coming to you from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. Bob Cole with Mickey Redmond. and Bobby Hull in the gondola at Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. And the Leafs had stormed out in this first period to take a 3-0 lead over the Edmonton Oilers. Lumley from center, up over the line. Lumley tried to get through, and Mano took it away as Salming had covered Lumley. And the Leafs come out again. Robert to center, spun around and falls. Maloney waits, didn't wait long enough. He brought it in, and Boschman was offside.
Well, the last time we looked, it was about, I think, 12-3 in shots in favor of Edmonton. And right now, although the Leafs are playing very well offensively, Bunny Larocque has taken it away from Edmonton.
He's standing up, he's playing the angles, he's moving out and moving in, staying on his feet. I think that's the most important thing for a young goaltender. Make sure you stay on your feet, because once you get flopping, you can stop that first one, but the second and third one, you better be in position to do it.
The Leafs and Bunny Larocque last night were stormed by Buffalo 8-2. But they're alive tonight. This is Lumley again, jamming the brakes on, gets it up to Coffey. He walked right into it. And I'll tell you, Larocque has his eye on that thing tonight. He's very alert.
We'll talk about a hot potato. This thing come off the backboard like a pool cue.
I think it hit the glass just above the dasher.
Look at that, right back on the top
right
of the
back,
net.
hit the crossbar on the way back out. Against the Soviets one game, they fired the puck up against that in Moscow, up against that mesh they have, and it catapulted right back out to Petrov or Mihailov and Bango. It was in our net before the goaltender turned around.
I remember in '72, the first goal they scored on Dryden happened that very same way, Bobby. A big net affair. And it appeared as if they knew exactly what they were doing. Salming to center. High shot in wide. Lumley has it back there, just left it. The Rivieres pass to Curry coming in. Curry has Gretzky on the right wing with him, dropped it back. Well, that's a different 99. That's Paymont, and he played it to center ice. The Riviere again takes his time. Edmonton Oilers just lining up, and now they throw it in as Coffey slapped it behind the Maple Leaf goal. Luce is on for Toronto. Gretzky stopped him. Then it's cleared by Boschman. Siltanen played it off to one side. Coffey knocked it in. Gretzky went in forechecking, but the Leafs are all back covering up, and Luce just put it up to center. Gretzky again was covered as he tried to go in. This time Mano was in front of him. 6:30 left in the period. 3-0 Toronto. Now it's Hughes coming in for a shot. Didn't get good wood on it, and it was just wide. 5 clears it all the way down the ice. That's Siltanen winding up. A good skater. Can carry the puck. There he is throwing it in. Boimstruck is coming back to cover, but Hughes is there first. Tried to center it, and Larocque, watching it again, just fell on it. 6:07 remaining in the first period. I'm Bob Cole, and with me tonight in the gondola is Mickey Redmond and Bobby Hull. And the Toronto Maple Leafs have surprised the Edmonton Oilers by 3 goals here so far. That's Hicks shooting it back in the net to Weir. He centered it. Weir again takes a look. Throw it in front. They can't find it. 2 Leafs break out. This is Anderson carrying. Coming in with 5. Anderson's weak shot is deflected by Fuhr into the crowd. Aubin has 2 goals for Toronto, and Rick 5 the other.
Look at Billy Delego off to a good start this year with 18 goals already, and this line of Delego, 5, and Anderson, really the Leafs' top line so far this season. Nikolak was going to use them tonight against the Gretzky line, but he decided against it. And he figured possibly if they were all worried about checking Gretzky, they wouldn't be doing their scoring production, and so far it looks like a pretty good move.
Looks like he's found a home here. Billy had a little attitude problem earlier, but he's found a home here in Toronto, and I think he's enjoying playing.
Playing very well.
Siltanen coming out to Hughes. Hughes up over the line. He threw it back to the net. McGill went back to cover on him. It comes loose for 5. 5 can't move it out. It's kept in by Edmonton. They send 2 in deep. Hughes is the lead man. Can't find it, though, and Toronto will clear it up to center. That's Doug Hicks coming back. Siltanen lines up with him. Derlego went back to forecheck, and it's Siltanen up to Hughes. Hitting the line to center ice. Messier coming in for Edmonton. Messier driving for the net. Stopped back of the goal as he fell. It's at the line where Anderson chopped at it. The Leafs get a break. A long lead pass to Vive. Shoots. And Fuhr out 15 feet. Cut the angle to make the save and Vive. Messier right back for Edmonton. In over the line. Tried his shot. It comes in front of Hagman. He couldn't get a shot away. And finally, it's over the glass and into the crowd.
Night so far, the Oilers they're doing a lot of good skating and playmaking in their own zone and up in center ice area, but they're just not being able to finish around. And when they do, Larocque is there to stop them.
Well, you watch what Toronto is doing. They're lining up. They've always got one man coming back with the two defensemen. They're lining up across the blue line, and Edmonton isn't able to just carry it through all the time, and they hate to throw it away.
That's Benning up to center ice to Paymont. Martin is on the left wing. But he was in a little too quickly and offside. 4:39 remaining in the period. 3-0 Toronto. There's Terry Martin.
Also off to a pretty good start this year. He's got a couple of hat tricks this year.
16 goals and 13 assists as you look at Grant Fuhr. And he's wondering about his streak.
And out on the ice comes Mr. Brackenberry for Edmonton, who doesn't get in a lot of games, only playing in his 10th game. As Bobby mentioned, he's always in the middle of the action out there.
He's number 15. There he is against Martin. Now low. Put it over to Fogelin. Fogelin on the boards to Brackenberry, and he was stopped. Hagman flipped it back. Low again. Shoots it on one end. Here comes Brackenberry. Left it there. Martin will clear it. Did Aubin skate, but grabbed then by Paymont. In with Aubin. Paymont shot. The rebound comes right back in front. Paymont over along the boards trying to get it over in front again. Aubin went over to help him. Now Ken Berry, number 19 for Edmonton. Failed to move it out. Here's Paymont again. Rebound. Martin around the net. Centered it. And falling was Lee Fogelin to make a good play. Berry trying to move it. Gets it up. Brackenberry is away to center. But it's stopped by Benning. Then he lost it. The Leafs cover up and Aubin from center ice. Brackenberry ran into Melrose. And here's a penalty. Brackenberry goes.
Speak of the devil. Boy, he loves to run into people like that. He really had the elbows up on Melrose, and Wally Harris wasn't too far away from the play.
He was the aggressor on that one. Melrose did retaliate a little bit, but Brackenberry was the aggressor.
So look at a couple of gentlemen in the crowd, well known over these days, Walter and Keith Gretzky. I guess Keith second to Wayne, and they're enjoying the hockey game. I guess not so far they're not, with the Edmonton Oilers trailing 3-0. You see the concern on their face.
A little concern. It's not over with yet.
Here's a look at the penalty right there. You can see the elbows up on Brackenberry, and with 3:37 to go in this first period, the Oilers will be shorthanded.
Tough time now for Edmonton to take a penalty with the score Toronto 3 and Edmonton nothing. Only 3:37 left in the period.
Looking at Walter and Keith Gretzky, Bob, Dr. David Lloyd graciously donated his tickets to the Gretzky family. He's the head of the Sick Children's Hospital, and so they could sit. There was a tough time even for Wayne Gretzky to get tickets to this hockey game tonight.
13 people of the Booster Club came from Edmonton, no tickets, watching it on TV.
There's Anderson coming in front. Fuhr had to cover up with Derlego being pushed out of the crease now. Derlego tried to get the loose puck and sticks her high again. Linesmen are in rather quickly, though. The referee, Wally Harris, I think they have it settled. So with Brackenberry of Edmonton off, he has 1:44 left in his penalty. The Leafs enjoy a 3-0 lead here in the opening period. And now, with the extra man on for Toronto, the face-off in the Edmonton zone, so the Oilers have to be careful. Gretzky, though, scooped one down the ice from just inside his own line. Salming, being watched by Messier. Vive, Derlego, Mano, and Anderson. The power play for Toronto. Derlego looking good. Derlego dropping it back to Mano. Took a shot. Fuhr stopped it. He looked shaky and lost it. Into the corner. It's cleared back in front. Here's a break for Gretzky. Coming down. Gretzky cutting in front. And he was stopped by Salming. Here's Gretzky. He tried to have another try. And he cannot get that puck by Bunny Larocque. Gretzky just calmly tried to deflect it, but Larocque took the chance and went down, stopped it, and came back to him. But no, sir, he couldn't do it on a second try.
Boy, this building is just a buzz. I don't know the last time I've heard it. Here's a look at how it happened. Gretzky losing it, but Messier picks it up, and look at Gretzky all alone in front. Both Toronto defensemen following him, and Larocque, like a rock, stood his ground. Look at that.
Then it came right back to him after he directed it towards Larocque. It came back to him. He pulled it around him, and when he shot it, it hit the goal post and came back and went under Larocque again.
Looked like he had that thing in a lacrosse stick for a moment there, didn't it?
One of those nights. Larocque holding the hot hand at this moment for the Toronto Maple Leafs. 3-0 Toronto, 2:45 left in the period. A minute and 5 seconds left in the Edmonton penalty to Brackenbury. And Edmonton keep the Leafs inside the line. Now they start out, led by Benning. Martin is trailing Benning. Benning tries the shot in on the boards for Paymont. Didn't come back to him. Aubin gets it back near the line. Robert winds up. Over here to Benning. He takes the shot, deflected wide. Aubin went after it with Paymont. And Martin, 3 Leafs behind the net. And Kevin Lowe trying to cover up for Edmonton. Now it comes back to Benning. We're getting another penalty now. This one will be against the Toronto Maple Leafs. 2:06 remaining in the period. Normand Aubin has 2 goals. The first one at 26 seconds. Then 6:33 and 5. It's 28th at 9:12. Now the Oilers up to center ice. Flipped in. Paymont of the Toronto Maple Leafs is off. They're 5 aside. Aubin in the corner trying to tie up his man. Benning takes it behind the net. 7 seconds left in the Edmonton penalty. 1:40 in the period. Aubin to center is stopped. This is Gretzky breaking right in on goal. And he missed the open side. Gets it back in front again. He had Larocque beaten, but he couldn't find the handle on it again. There's Hunter trying to set it up. Power play now for Edmonton. There's a drive. And it's knocked away. Anderson was dumped. There's Gretzky around the net. Centered and it went by 2 Edmonton Oilers. And Aubin shoots the puck down the ice. Unbelievable action around the Maple Leaf goal. 1:05 left in the period. 3-0 Toronto. Oilers cannot get it in. They can't buy one, as they say. There's Mano. He'll clear it as far as center. 55 seconds left in the period. Gretzky comes in on this attack. Played it in front of Anderson. And it was cleared away, but not out. Oilers with the man advantage. Salming is bumped. Anderson went in to help. Zanussi finds the opening and clears it down the ice. Isn't this something?
Salming just got away with a takeaway.
Oh, he sure did. He grabbed right a hold of him.
Now then, Edmonton with 28 seconds left in the period on the power play. They bring it in. Messier and Anderson. It's broken up and cleared, and Gretzky will have to do it at center. His pass got in over the line. There's Gretzky with it. Back to the line to Coffey. Over here it comes. Anderson waits. Now he throws one in behind the net for Gretzky. He centered it. Leafs covering up. Can't get it out. Sildenen's pass to Coffey, the backhander. Wide. And the bell goes to win a wild and woolly first period. And all the scoring by the Toronto Maple Leafs. There's Bunny Larocque, the man of the hour. So the score at the end of the first period is Toronto 3, Edmonton 0. What a first period we've seen.
Oh, that's great. My son Blake, who's playing for the Dixie Beehives, and I were talking last night, he said that, Oberon. He said, do you remember that, Oberon, Dad? And he said he played in that Quebec League, and he said he can score goals, and he sure can.
Well, Mickey, I'd say we're not through of goal scoring in this game yet.
We could have an 8-6er, one of those high-scoring affairs. If Edmonton can open up, the Leafs have sure done it.
Aubin tried to flip it in front. Now we're getting a penalty called against the Edmonton Oilers. Aubin went flying. And Edmonton drawing a penalty here at 20 seconds of this second period. Hagman.
Here's a look at how this happened. Aubin just going for the loose puck, and just a very slight hook by Hagman. And Oban did a good job of putting on a show for Harris, Bobby.
He certainly did. He knew that the referee was looking, and it didn't take much to pull him down.
Wayne Forsey and John D'Amico. The linesmen, Aubin, Payma, Martin, Salming, and Benning, the two defensemen. The Oilers shoot it down the ice.
Oilers can ill afford to give up a fourth goal here. I think this, if there's going to be a critical part of this game, this could be it. If they happen to go down by 4, it could be all over for them.
The Toronto Maple Leafs winding up as Salming to Payma. Payma shoots it in, and here comes Aubin. He lets it slide back to Benning. It's tipped near the net. Oh, and nearly jammed it in on that short side. But the Oilers covered up, and Weir's clearing it for Edmonton. A minute 24 seconds left in the penalty. To Matty Hagman. Salming starts it again. The lead pass off the skate of Benning. Martin to Paymont coming in. Paymont doesn't shoot it. Cleared it into the corner. And Weir traps it for Edmonton. Cleared it out. Knocked to center ice by Hunter. Weir again trailing the play. Trying to kill off this penalty for the Edmonton Oilers. Aubin spun around. Carries on though. Centered it. And it's knocked away by Fuhr. But here's Benning. He didn't shoot it. Martin centered it right in front of Paymont. Fuhr is down. Slaps at it. But the goaltender, Grant Fuhr, hangs on, and some more pushing and shoving in behind the Edmonton goal.
Go ahead, Bobby.
Pretty tough kid, that Paymont. He's from a family of pretty tough kids, and he won't back down from anyone. I just met his mom and dad out here tonight. He's, I don't know how old he is, but a big stout man, and just won the wrist wrestling champion for a man his age against someone 28 years old.
See that statistic on Wilf Paymont? He is a big man, his father. I've seen him a few times here. There's a look at some of the pressure, and Paymont again right in front. Looked like Wally Harris took a little bit of time here blowing this whistle. Paymont almost got that thing underneath Fuhr.
The Leafs on a power play. Robert's at the point with Mano. Now Robert gets it. Robert can't shoot it though. Played it over in front. 5 took a shot. Fuhr stopped that. Leafs keep the pressure on. That's Robert to Mano. He screams. Shot is knocked down in front of it. Another shot. Another one. Score! Well, Fuhr couldn't stop them all, and finally Anderson got the third attempt, and a power play goal for Toronto. 4-0.
Well, you notice on this play that Fuhr was screened on the play. He didn't see the puck. It hit him in the trapper. Five got the rebound. Fuhr made the next save, and Anderson was right there. Of course, Edmonton playing a man short. He banged in the open rebound. And 4-0 for Toronto. Here's Johnny Anderson right on the spot.
1:51, the time of the goal. 25th of the year for Anderson. 4-0 Toronto. Now, Mickey, your prediction earlier was that if the Leafs got the fourth before Edmonton got on the board, it could be it for the Oilers tonight. We'll see.
Could be, remember.
Okay. Edmonton organizing. Murray's pass didn't get very far. Coffey brings it up over the line, shoots it into the corner, and Salming for Toronto to Maloney, and he slapped it out to center ice, having been checked. Coffey shoots it in again. Larocque stops it behind the net, dropped it for Salming. Maloney trapped on the boards by LaRiviere. Maloney gets it loose, though, up over the line to center, and Mano shoots it in. Nearing the 3-minute mark of the second period. 4-0 Toronto. Gretzky is on. This is Gretzky. Stick handling out of his zone. Hitting the line. Center. Up over the leaf line. Offside called against Edmonton. You're looking at Wayne Gretzky, who has been stymied along with all the other Oilers so far tonight by the Leafs and Bunny Larocque. They played 2:55 of the second period. It's 4-0 Toronto. The Leafs with a power play goal here in the second period. Edmonton has to come back again. Riviere takes it in behind his own goal. Hughes goes to the right side. Coffey to the left side. Riviere played it up on the right wing, and Hunter goes to center. Hunter with Gretzky trailing. Gretzky stopped it, but it bounced over the glass near the Edmonton bench.
Well, the Oilers at this point look very, very frustrated out there. They've not been playing all that well lately. They tied in Washington. They got bombed by the Philadelphia Flyers Thursday night, 8-2. They got beat in Calgary last Sunday night after beating Calgary Saturday. They showed a pretty good performance there, but this club has not been playing well lately.
Bobby, you mentioned something a moment ago when I queried you about the emotional letdown that the Oilers might have after the exploits of Gretzky, and you went through that with the Chicago Blackhawks.
Well, and I was going for 51 the first time that it was broken. We went 3 games without scoring a goal during before we finally got the 51st.
Here's Gretzky betting again. Gretzky picked that far corner, and Larocque just got a piece of it. The Leafs come back to center. That's Martin going in, and Coffey was back to break it up. Edmonton moving it again. This is Coffey with Gretzky trailing. Coffey upended. Play goes in behind the net. It comes back to Hunter, shoots it. That went wide. And the Leafs, trying to clear it, had it go off his stick into the crowd at the far side.
I'll tell you, couldn't tell if that one may have hit that far goalpost on that scramble. Larocque was down, and Gretzky was being hauled down as Mano's down on the ground. I don't think he's hurt. Really just getting a little rest after all that action.
Looks like he's holding his knee a little bit. He may have twisted it some. We'll see how he... I think likely just a little bruise. He'll be all right.
What the Oilers could use right now is a little bit of a break. Bunny Larocque has just really stood up in that Toronto goal so far tonight and stopped everything they fired at him.
You know, Larocque, when he was in Montreal, he bellyached that he was a backup goaltender. He came to Toronto and thought he was going to be #1. Took him a while to get winning, but with the performance that he is in tonight, he could be their #1 goaltender.
The Leafs hop on it right away after the draw. Hunter hit his man. Robert cleared it. Just past 4 minutes in the second period, and it's 4-0 Toronto. Siltanen coming in, drifting it off the boards. Larocque covers up. Salming trying to move it to Maloney. Stick knocked it out to center ice. Thought it was up high, but it was waved off. Hunter shoots it in again for Edmonton, and Mano going in against Brackenbury. He went after him, decides to go by him, and the Leafs bring it to center. Robert gets the pass on his skate. Good move by Robert. Then he stopped. The Leafs changing as the play goes on. Nearly got caught with an extra man on the ice. Nearing the 5-minute mark of the second period, Toronto 4, Edmonton 0. Salming to Aubin, who has scored twice tonight for Toronto. Martin was stopped up the line by Hicks, and Gretzky winds up the game. There's Gretzky, one good move. Another, played it to Hicks to center. Hicks shoots it in, dribble it off the boards in the corner. Larocque was out of the net. Martin trying to move it out and hopped away to center ice. Siltanen couldn't stop it. Brackenbury played it over the line, but the Leafs will clear it. Gretzky stops it, comes back in. Gretzky stopped at the blue line, pushed off the puck by Boreas Salming, and the fans here at the Gardens love that. Tonight's game is coming to you from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. Next, Bob Mano, the Leaf defenseman, who has gone in behind the Leaf bench just near the dressing room door. So you're right, fellas, he was shaken up. Get any report, we'll pass it along to you. Bob Mano of Toronto. There's Vine. Shoots it in. He has scored a goal for Toronto tonight. Now Fogelin trying to move it. Melrose stopped Hagman up the blue line. Lowe brings it up for Edmonton. Got across the line. He was checked. 5 clearing it off the boards down the ice. It'll go all the way this time. And as Lowe goes back, the Toronto Maple Leafs are called for icing.
Kevin Lowe back in that Oiler defense. The Oilers seem to have a very, as we mentioned before, a high-scoring defense. Lowe only with 3 goals, but 21 assists. and like the other Oiler defenseman, is going to have a lot of points because they're offensive-minded, Bobby. They're up the ice all the time. They're trying to rush with the puck. They're good skaters. They're mobile, and they really can make those plays at the forwards.
Well, my dad always said there shouldn't be any defense. There should be 5 guys out there that understand one another, and any one of the 5 should be able to play defense. And I don't think defensemen should really have to stay back all the time. I think they should, when they get their opportunity, go up the ice and help the forward.
Good thing that the defenseman can play forward, because I know a lot of forwards that couldn't play defense.
Here's Messier for Edmonton. Back to the line for low shot. Hit the goal post. And it rings its way all the way back to center ice. Maloney coming in. Fuhr out of the net. A wise move as it turned out for Grant Fuhr. Now Lowe brings it in again for Edmonton. The Oilers have done everything but put it by Larocque. Messier slammed into Robert. And a charging penalty is being called against Messier of Edmonton. Edmonton shorthanded again. And there's the infraction, a charging penalty against Messier. Back to the live action as the Leafs on another power play come in. Lego trying to go in and was stopped. And the Maple Leafs have to come back. 1:40 left in the penalty. Benning hooked it behind the net for Salming. He decides to go for cover as Weir was forechecking. Weir, a penalty killer with Hunter. Lowe and Fogelin, the 2 Edmonton defensemen. Coming in. Benning shoots it high and on the glass. It bounces back to Vide. To Salming. He takes a step or 2. Now to Benning. Benning tried a shot and Fuhr decides to hang on to it. Bob Mano, we hear, has twisted his knee, but he is now back on the Toronto bench. So he just might get back into action.
There's a look at Bob Mano on the bench, Bob, as you mentioned. As Bobby mentioned earlier, I don't think it was anything serious. It just made the way he sort of twisted his knee back behind the Toronto net there when Edmonton was putting on a lot of pressure. I'm sure we're going to see him back out there in the Leaf defense very shortly.
1:10 left in the Edmonton penalty. The Leafs on a power play. Fuhr down, and covering up on the play is Lee Fogelin. He's just outside the crease and he fell near the puck and decided to hang on to it if he could, and he did.
Bob, look at this.
So look at that action around the Edmonton net. Fogelin, not really knowing where that puck was, hit him in the left skate, and he very alertly jumped on it. The crowd here hauling for a penalty, of course, laying on the puck.
It slides down the ice.
We noticed that Leafs scored on the last power play they had. They were 13th in the league with power play percentages. Edmonton 5th in the penalty killing state.
Salming shoots one in. Fogelin trying to clear it. Again, Fogelin. This time to Weir. He nearly broke away on Salming, who was the only Leaf back. Now Anderson is coming in. Here's Anderson. It's set. And he hit the side of the net with a shot. Anderson tried to center it. Vive on a difficult angle. Can't shoot it. Tried to play it back to Robert. It was deflected down the ice. 25 seconds now left in the Edmonton penalty. Robert skates his way to center. In with a shot. The rising shot was off the net. Gretzky couldn't stop Martin. It comes in front of the net. And the Oilers shoot it away. And Larocque has to make the save. 7 seconds left in the penalty. The Leafs trying to bring it up again. Mano seems to be okay. He's up there at center. Gretzky trying to hook it off him. Messier is back on. And the Oilers are at full strength. That's Curry going in with Gretzky. Trying to set him up. Here's Messier. Rebound. Oh, Larocque. I can't believe the work Buddy Larocque is doing tonight in goal for the Toronto Maple Leafs. With a score, Toronto 4, Edmonton nothing. This is Hockey Night in Canada on CBC. I'm Bob Cole, and along with me in the gondola here at Maple Leaf Gardens is Mickey Redmond and Bobby Hull, who has joined our Hockey Night in Canada crew. And what a game to get you broken in, Bobby. This is a dandy. Lumley comes over the line. Lumley rags it a bit, got away with it and played it off the boards, but Salming is there. Out to Maloney. Coming in is Zanussi on the play. Zanussi picks it up. dropped it to Maloney, and he took the shot and hit a leg in front of the net. That was Curry who blocked it. Now Siltonen. Here comes Maloney. Maloney couldn't take it from him. Lumley missed it. It bounced in front of the net. Mano centered it to Maloney, and he was covered, and it was cleared to center ice. We're in the halfway mark of the hockey game. 4-0 Toronto. Salming and Mano on the Leaf defense. It's Bob Mano up to center. Zanussi trying to go in behind the defense. He did, but the pass was deflected away from him. Now Curry pushed it in front of the net. Vogelin comes out. The lead pass is stopped at center ice by Anderson. Anderson backhands it into the Edmonton zone. That's Hicks. The Leafs are changing now. The Oilers start out. A long pass goes astray. This will be icing as it's picked up by McGill. This game is coming to you from Toronto.
There's no Siltonen behind the Edmonton bench. I don't know whether he's just got equipment problems or whether he is hurting somewhat. We'll have to wait and see if we get a report on that.
Low lead pass. He tried to hit Anderson and went by him. McGill for Toronto. Hooked it high off the boards down the ice. And that's Kevin Lowe winding up again. Messier on the left wing. Covered by Vive. Now again. Anderson through center. Up over the line. Jams on the brakes. Back to Lowe. Winds up. Shoots it. It's knocked away. The rebound of Anderson. And it's blocked in front of the net by McGill. A loose puck. McGill pulls it in, and he might get a penalty. We'll watch. The referee, Wally Harris, but McGill appeared to reach out and pull it in, and I think he's going to be penalized.
Right on the money, Mr. Cole. Wally Harris making the signal for delay of game call. McGill not really upset at the penalty. Of course, he didn't know he was going to get one, but Glenn Anderson sort of stuffed that stick underneath him, as you'll see here on the replay. He does a good job blocking that shot, and it makes about 3 or 4 efforts to corral the puck, and finally does. There's the stick of Anderson right there.
I think if there's a difference in this game, it's the big saves that Larocque has come up with early in that first period. Robbing Curry, robbing Gretzky.
Okay, now, Bobby. Edmonton with a power play. The Oilers are saying what on the bench over there now? They're down 4 goals.
Well, I'm sure that they know that they must score the next goal. They've got to get back in this game. They've got to get something going, and they're really in power plays. They're 3rd in the league, where the penalty killing of the Maple Leafs is 19th, so they have a good chance here. What do you say?
So the odds are, I would say, that something will come off here. Eddie Milliken, our statistician, working overtime this evening. Not too much of that stuff now, Eddie. It gets complicated, you know. 9:27 remaining in the second period. And McGill of the Toronto Maple Leafs is off. And here the Edmonton Oilers in a must situation, I suppose you'd have to say. Down 4 to the Leafs. They got to get one here. They line up, drag it a bit, and it's knocked to center. So they have to come back on side. Gretzky over to Anderson. He didn't go very far. Mano shoots it off the boards. Edmonton regrouping again. That's Hagman. Couldn't shoot it in. It hit the referee. We've got more action in Montreal, more scoring at the Forum. Here's Danny Gallivan.
Barber coming down, pass on the right side. Holmgren missed it, back to Barber. He scores! Holmgren!
Well, the Philadelphia Flyers going out in front of the Canadiens. There goes Holmgren, loses the puck, but goes right for the front of the net again. And Billy Barber slides it through to him. The Canadiens, or I should say the Flyers, lead it 2-1.
Edmonton on the power play. Messier takes his time, back to Hagman. Over on the other side, Coffey's shot. Deflected away from the net. The Leafs can't move it out. Hagman again, hooked it along the boards. Now Coffey is in position. Centered it. But the Leafs clear it this time, high over the glass. But the face-off will come up inside the Toronto blue line.
Little desperation showing, I think, in Edmonton on the power play. They've had their success moving the puck to Gretzky behind the net. They're firing the puck from out the blue line, And I really feel their game is moving the puck around into Gretzky behind the net and let him make the plays from there.
Looks like, Bobby, that Toronto really has Edmonton unnerved right now. They've been taking the body quite a bit every chance they get out there, and the Oilers are somewhat frustrated.
Yes, they are.
Loose, a penalty killer for Toronto, gets it away. A minute and 5 seconds left in the Leaf penalty. Fuhr, give it to Gretzky. From the corner, gets away from Loose. Over the line to center. Lead pass from the right side, Messier's in the clear. And it's knocked away by Bunny Larocque. Edmonton with it. Hagman knocked it down. Larocque has been sensational in this game. Coffey waits for the pass. It didn't come. There's Gretzky in the corner. Gretzky back to Coffey. To Gretzky! Set up for Messier. And Larocque stopped it. Another shot. Knocked away. It's in the goal crease. The light flashed for a moment, but the puck never did get across the goal line. And there's a pileup in front of Bunny Larocque now. You can't believe the action in the goal crease of Toronto.
Well, there'll be some, I don't know if they're going to argue very much. The red light went on. Here was Messier breaking in all alone. The save by Larocque. The red light went on. It looked like the puck may have gone in the net, but I think it just went outside that left goal post, caught the mesh and rolled down the back, but eventually came out in front, and Larocque made a couple of more saves.
You mentioned a moment ago that the Maple Leafs had the Edmonton Oilers jittery. Well, let me tell you, the Edmonton Oilers have that goal judge jittery too. He could swear somebody was going to score.
Look what's going to happen here, a penalty shot. Mano, and I thought I saw it, Mano reached in almost in the behind the crease in the net and grabbed the puck in his hand. Now let's watch it here. We'll see if we can see Mano after Gretzky comes across. Here's Messier. Now watch the hand block. There it is.
Right there.
There it is.
Yeah.
There he is.
He fell on it in the crease, Bobby.
He
No
fell on
question
it
about
in the
it.
crease.
That's what the penalty shot is for.
Who's going to take it? Must we ask?
Guess who?
Anybody, the rule is on this, that anybody that is on the ice at the time the infraction was called can take that penalty shot. Any one of those 5 skaters. And there's no question about it. It's going to be Wayne Gretzky against Bunny Larocque, one-on-one.
Okay, Gretzky on the season has 56 goals. Here he comes. Listen to the crowd. Here's the great Gretzky.
No goal.
Larocque has stymied Gretzky and the Oilers again. Listen to the crowd. This place is wild as you look at Gretzky and Larocque.
Good rear-end camera look of it. The forehand deep. Larocque stood his ground, and the picture tells it all.
How can you figure this? The deep, another one. Thought he had the opening, but Larocque is there.
You know, I think he tried to tuck it between his pads, Bobby.
Yes, he did. That's what it looked like. It hit him on the left pad. Now watch it again here. He faked to the right, then moved it to the left and quickly shot back to there. He tried to put it between his legs. You're right. There was a hole there.
Not too often does Gretzky miss those holes either. But this building, you know, when he was going in there from center ice, and there's a happy Mr. Ballard right now, King Clancy, this whole building was on its feet.
The Oilers have been stymied by the Toronto Maple Leafs. And the crowd are standing now and cheering the Leafs on as Bob gets a break. Back in front to Lego. And he is stopped by Grant Fuhr. Now it's opened up. And Edmonton come right back. Anderson going in with Gretzky. Gretzky looking, twisting, turning, scoring. You can't hold him forever. It's 4-1 Toronto.
Well, they finally got the break they needed, the Oilers. We'll have to wait and see who gets this goal. You see Gretzky make the play and the backhand, but look at the stick of Anderson right in front of Larocque. You couldn't quite tell whether he deflected the puck or not. He's going for the front of the net right there. Number 99. And he's a happy young man after being foiled on that penalty shot, Bobby.
Isn't that great, though? We've seen everything in this game tonight.
Super. Well, that's what a lot of these people came to see.
Oh, absolutely.
12:34, that Gretzky goal, and Edmonton finally on the scoreboard. They've had many, many chances, including the penalty shot taken by Gretzky, as you saw. But he got himself fired up to weave his way through, and finally they're on the board. Now that's Weir fighting against Anderson. It's back of the net to Hagman, centered it, and a shot by Lowe was deflected away. Edmonton again, Fogelin drifts one, and that was away off the net and goes all the way back into the Edmonton zone. What a hockey game here in Toronto. Toronto 4, Edmonton 1. Under deflects one to center ice. Boymstruck slaps it back. Fuhr had to be careful. Now Lowe starting out. 6:30 left in the period. Fogelin comes to center. Lead pass tipped up over the lead line. And Toronto's Boymstruck off in a change, cleared it before he left. Weir tipped it to center. Hunter is belted by Melrose. Now Weir picks it up coming in. Gives it off to Hughes. He centered it. Oh, Hughes got in front of the net. Fogelin elected to pass it a second time. There's Fogelin stopping it. Great pressure again by Edmonton. Gretzky got in the rebound. Larocque standing there, and the play is called. Unbelievable action. I'm Bob Cole with Mickey Redmond and Bobby Hull in an exciting evening here in Toronto. The only visit of the season for the Edmonton Oilers, led by Wayne Gretzky, and the Leafs built up a 4-0 lead on the sharp Oilers. Now it's 4-1 with 5:57 left in the period. Gretzky went after Mano, but it was Mano to Robert to the line at center. Tipped there by Maloney, but he couldn't pick it up. Now Lumley from center for Edmonton. Pass hit Mano. He cleared it to Maloney. Dan Maloney shoots one off the boards, and Fuhr behind the net, stopping it for Coffey. 5:33 left in the period as Coffey skates to center. Gretzky on the right. Coffey tied up, has to shoot it in. And Mano takes over. Lumley bumped him. Gretzky stopped at center to just miss Curry. Robert's pass stopped near center. That's Coffey to Curry. Coming in with Gretzky and Lumley. And it's broken up inside the line and dumped to center ice again. Coffey backhands it in. Edmonton pouring it on now. And the Leafs trying to stymie this Edmonton pressure. It's cleared back to Lumley behind the net. He centered it. Larocque is down. And he hangs onto it. It was dribbling toward that near post.
Well, the Oilers really putting some pressure on that goal. Seems to have sparked them somewhat. They're dumping it in and chasing the Leafs. And they're getting a few scoring chances out of that.
Coffey, I don't think, got a real good piece of that puck when it came across. But that other play, here it is. That's Lumley getting the puck out in front. Here's Coffey. Got it on the heel of a stick.
What is the defenseman doing?
But that play before, when they went in, there were 2 or 3 passes made, and then when Fogelin made the pass across, he put it in the no man's land, right in between where he couldn't get it on his backhand or his forehand.
Pat Hughes, of course, a right-hand shot. He's over on the left-hand side, and he really didn't know which way to go with it. And Fogelin just blasted it into the open area, and Hughes couldn't get a stick on it.
Hedberg and Nilsson and I used to talk about that all the time. When you're on your offside, give us the puck on our forehand, back where we can just direct shoot it. Don't give it to us on our backhand.
4:57 left in the period. Toronto leading 4-1. This is 5. Lowe stopped it. Took a screen shot. It's knocked down in for another shot. And that's blocked in front of Larocque by Michel, who dumped it up to center ice. There's Michel again, shooting it into the Edmonton zone. Fuhr stopping it for Lowe. Hagman winds up to his left. Messier goes to the right. And the Oilers start out. Fogelin's pass went astray down the ice. There will be no icing, though. McGill has to hustle back. Takes it in the corner. Got it up to 5. 5 better ahead. Bill DeLego. He lost it. And Lowe comes back with Hagman. In with Messier. Hagman centered it to Anderson, and he was stopped, and 3 Leafs rush out. Up the center goes Vibes, pass by Anderson down the ice. 4 minutes left in the period. Toronto 4, Edmonton 1. Low, stick handles away from Martin. Gets to center, played it into Messier. Messier has some room now. He centered it. It hit Boyne, struck, who got back to cover up. And the Leafs break out of the zone again. Paymon has it this time. He's in over the line, drives in with a shot on the short side. And it was blocked by Fuhr. Coffey now, coming out. Coffey looks for Gretzky. Lugs it in himself. Nearly went all the way and was stopped. Only got rid of it. Chopped back in over the line by Coffey. There's Paymon at center ice. His pass. Knocked down up the line by Maloney. Upended, a penalty coming up against the Edmonton Oilers. Live from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto, this is Hockey Night in Canada on CBC. Hughes gets the call right here in Maloney.
Well, Pat Hughes did a pretty good job of taking Danny Maloney out of the play. The people around the building kind of thought there might have been a penalty moments earlier down at the other end on Anderson. The Edmonton bench up in arms, and you have it that the Leafs break away and the Oilers will play shorthanded.
The Leafs have scored one power play goal tonight, and here's Weir. Stopped by Salming at center. Benning shoots it in for Toronto. Low whipped it on the boards, and it slides to center, and Salming waits near his own line. And Weir watching him. Play comes across the line, broken up, and Weir has it in the center ice area. Played it back in for Fogelin. He's covered by Benning and can't move it. Trying to get a face-off in there if he can, but the Leafs take over. Benning starts up. Coming out slowly to his own line and gives it off to Salming to center. Salming goes in. Played it over in front. It's broken up and cleared back to the center ice area again. Bill Derlego to Salming with 1:10 left in the penalty. Fuhr stopped it behind the net for Edmonton. Now skates to the corner. And he whipped it up near the line where Mano took a shot. It's knocked down in front. And Fuhr has to cover up.
Well, you know, guys, this is starting tonight and running through next week. Minor Hockey Week in Canada, and as part of those festivities, starting the 21st, Thursday next week up in Peterborough, the Peterborough Liftlock Atom Tournament. 24 years ago, Bobby, they started with 6 teams, and they now are 72 hockey teams involved in that tournament. The youngsters, teams from New York, Quebec, Montreal, and Michigan involved, and of course Canada, and folks ought to get out and support that. You get a lot of youngsters out there that one day, of course, could end up here.
Great character builder, those tournaments. It's wonderful for kids to
By the
come.
way,
go ahead, Nick.
also Brian McFarland of Hockey Night in Canada and Peter Puck are going to be there.
Oh, isn't that great? Kids will enjoy that.
Leafs hit the goal post. Off the boards it goes. Lumley went after it. He'll try to clear it. He was stopped by Martin, who centered it. Oh, that was wrong. Here's Paymon. Score! Well, Grant Fuhr first made a sensational save, but then Paymon got the rebound, and it's 5-1 Toronto.
Well, penalties again hurting the Oilers. And you see Paymon, he really got that puck up high, Bobby. Looked like one of your old shots. Hit it in the top corner.
He picked that short side. Watch it. Here it comes out to him. Pulls it, and there it goes up in the air. Up in that short side.
And Fuhr made a good stop on the original shot. And
Aubin, look at Aubin right in front. Rubbed him.
the big play right here. Paymon, look at it. He hangs onto it. The defenseman goes down, and then bingo, right upstairs and underneath the Christmas.
He didn't have much room to put that puck.
18:05, the time of the goal. Aubin and Martin assisting. Paymon's 15th. 5-1, Toronto. Long shot in on the boards, and Salming is back for the Leafs. Bumped by Curry. Curry trying to kick it loose, but Salming hangs onto it, and they get a whistle. Bob Cole with Mickey Redmond and Bobby Hull in the gondola at Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. The Maple Leafs a 4-goal lead over the Edmonton Oilers, and only 1:43 remaining in this second period. Gretzky and Curry with Lumley. Up front, that's Lumley. Stealing it. Gretzky gets in front with Curry, and a great save by Larocque. He made the blocker save on that bullet shot. Robert shoots one in for Toronto. 1.5 left in the period. Riviere bumping with his man. Maloney. Long pass to center. Lumley and Gretzky. to Lumley. Broken up inside the line by Salming. Mano steers it back out and down inside the Edmonton line. That's Curry feeding it back. 1:05 left in the period as Coffey hits the blue line. Now he gives it to Curry going in. Curry one fake. He's trying to go by Salming. Lumley went in to help. And 56 seconds left in the period.
Got some great pro tips for you in the next intermission. Don't miss it.
Howie kicks off minor hockey week tonight with Beat the Pro. Watch for it on Pro Tips in our second intermission.
Here's Dave Lumley, 21 goals and 28 assists. And what a great year he's having. He'll be our guest in the second intermission. So it'll be interesting to hear from Dave Lumley. He talks to Dave Hodge.
Was it 12 games in a row he scored earlier this year?
Yes.
He was threatening a record.
Stopped
I believe
in
it was
Calgary.
12.
I think he had 15 goals in that span, did he not?
Came back the next night and got 3, I think, in Edmonton. A long shot by Fuhr, blocked. Stand to be corrected on that. But he certainly was stopped in Calgary. At center ice. Cleared in by Fogelin. And behind the net, Larocque left it for Mano. Messier, anticipating the move, gets it back to Lowe. 30 seconds left in the period. Derlego nearly got away. Still after it. Derlego tried to go in, but he was stopped, and that's Siltanen. Breaking out to Messier to center. Good move by Messier. Messier stopped near the lead line, and Anderson pushed one to center ice. Now Derlego again looking for 10 seconds left in the period. The Leafs with a 4-goal lead. Here's Messier and Gretzky. Back to Messier. Dropped it. Fogelin shoots it. And Larocque made the save as the bell goes to end the second period. And it started fast. And you saw how it ended. So the score at the end of the second period is Toronto 5, Edmonton 1.
Well, the Oilers have really, I think, been frustrated, Bobby. We mentioned it before. The Leafs, I think, have really done a good job. I don't know how much Bob and I were talking after the second period, how much this hype today and yesterday and coming in here has got to do, but I'm sure, as you, I'm sure will go along with in your days and the activity that was surrounding you coming into buildings like this, it's got to have an effect on Wayne Gretzky himself and the rest of the hockey club, concentration-wise, if nothing else.
Oh, I'm sure it does, Nick. Teams tend to rise to the occasion when they're faced with people that have done extraordinary things. And Toronto, if they haven't proven to themselves tonight that the way to win hockey games, and of course they haven't won it yet, but they've played so very well up till now, if they haven't proven that the way to play well is to be prepared mentally. Come to the game ready to give it all. It won't happen all the time, but come ready to play, and if it's there, it'll come out.
You know, Glenn Sather has said earlier that he's going to, down the backstretch to the playoffs, is going to stop a lot of this activity and the access to especially Gretzky because of the attention and the concentration is being broken. Something like this happens a couple of more times. He may break that stuff a lot earlier.
Well, the third period is underway. Coffey centered it. Here's a chance. Hunter hit the side of the net. Gretzky on the boards. It stopped near the line. Edmonton with great pressure on as we start this third period. Again, Hunter comes in front of a shot. That's stopped by Larocque. It's fed back by Hughes. It didn't get back in front. Mano blocked it, and Maloney takes it out to center ice. Coming down for Toronto. Tried the shot. It's knocked away by Fuhr. Gretzky tipped it back with a skate. Now Coffey goes around the net for Edmonton. Hughes missed the pass. Jumped over his stick. Robert in the center ice area for Toronto with Maloney. Maloney is knocked to the ice. Decides to try to get a face-off. It comes to Gretzky, though. Into Hughes on an angle. Hughes can't shoot it. Centered it. A quick drive was blocked in front by Salming. The Leafs come right back to center. Maloney going in. Another shot by Maloney into the end Blues. More scoring at the Forum in Montreal. The Canadians this time. Here's Danny Gallivan.
Off the boards. Here's Linsman over on this side is Holmgren. Linsman is going in for the shot. Oh, big save.
Well, Guy Lafleur doing his thing again, set up by Keith Acton. The Canadians back in the game, 3-2. And that patented shot from those right boards by Guy Lafleur just inside that far goal post.
Just like it had eyes.
Aubin, who has scored twice for the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight, got the draw. On the boards, Anderson, though, for Edmonton coming out with Hagman. The pass, though, goes in on the right side. Anderson drives for the net. In behind the goal, he's covered by McGill. They get their skates on it, and it's called. The Toronto Maple Leafs opened the game with 3 goals in the first period, and here in the third, they're leading 5-1. Normand Aubin has scored twice for the Maple Leafs. The only Edmonton score from number 99, Wayne Gretzky. Vogelin at center, shoots it in. The Leafs all back, bring it out to center again. Martin was bumped off the puck. Paymon went after it. The Leafs broken up at center. Boymstruck is hurt. He was nailed at the far side along the boards, and Boymstruck has been injured.
Well, Mark Messier really took a run at him pretty well over there. The elbows were up a bit. Maybe not high enough for Wally Harris to make the call. We get a look at it here again. Oh, look at what we're looking at again.
There's a good-looking guy.
Look at that haircut.
Standing beside one of my close friends, Claude Provo.
Somebody downstairs is going to give it. You guys always throwing those things in. Here's a look at the check coming back to that. Look at that high stick up there. But mind you, Boymstruck ducked his head down at the same moment as Messier came in, and the stick really was not above the shoulders. But he looks like he's okay now.
Freddie Boymstruck, I think you can watch for him in the future. He's going to be a real good hockey player. He is right now. He played junior in Cornwall with my son Bobby.
Well, Toronto, Bobby, have decided to go with the young defenseman, and Mike Nicoluk is well aware that he's going to have problems from time to time, and it takes these young fellows a little bit of time to get acclimated to the National Hockey League, but they have decided in this organization to go with the youth and hopefully let them make their mistakes, don't make them too many times, and learn from the NHL experience.
Well, if they're going to go with the youth, they've picked some pretty good kids, and they're going to have to suffer with them a little bit. Defense is the hardest position to play, and I don't think you're a seasoned defenseman until you've got 5 or 6 years in the league.
Well, I think on the forward line you can cheat a little bit.
That's right. We've always got those guys to back us up.
That's right. Back on defense, they can't cheat.
Now Messier for Edmonton rolled it back of his own net. The Oilers striving to get something going to get back into this hockey game. At center is Lowe. In over the line he goes. Kevin Lowe, a good move to the side of the net, around the goal. Centered it. Hagman had a shot, was blocked. Now Vogelin winds up, didn't shoot it. It goes behind the net again. Anderson is bumped in front of the net by Melrose. And Aubin gets to center. Great move. Martin with him. Aubin going into Martin. Score! Normand Aubin with 2 goals and an assist earlier. Gains his second assist, and what a dandy it is.
And he is having quite a night, Bob. What a move. He freezes Vogelin between them. And Vogelin really has no choice but to stay between the 2 Toronto players. And Aubin finally draws him over his way and just dumps it off to Terry Martin. And Fuhr out of position, of course, having to play the shooter. A wide open net for Terry Martin.
Did you see the move he put on the Edmonton defender up at the red line to walk in for the 2-on-1? That Aubin, he's a clever kid.
They said he was tricky and could score goals down in the minors, and he's certainly showing it up here with the Leafs.
2:30 the time of that goal, and it's 6-1 Toronto Maple Leafs. Hicks and Coffey come out for Edmonton. Played it up to center. It's slapped off to the left side to Anderson. He was stopped. Now Curry coming in. He was put on stride, managed to clear it in off the boards behind the net, though. Boymstruck is okay. He's back on. Weir missed a pass, and Vibe takes over. Weir stopped him. The 2 players fall. Curry breaking for the net. Took a shot. It was blocked by McGill. Stopped at the line by Coffey. Dumped into the corner, and Boymstruck has it. Boymstruck's pass gets by everyone, and it slides inside the Edmonton line. 16:35 remaining in the game as Paul Coffey starts from the corner to Lumley. Weir's with him. Lumley goes to center. Gets up near the line, decides to go to the far side, and Robert was there to greet him, and he stopped him. Now Coffey from the point took a shot. That was knocked down in front of the Leafs. Anderson misses a pass, goes to center. He and Hicks bump. Once again, it's Coffey playing it off the boards into the Toronto zone. Salming takes it back to the net, but Hughes missed the pass, and it goes to center again. Vogelin dropped it back. Toronto 6, Edmonton 1. Hughes misses a pass near center, and Robert just backhands it inside the Edmonton line. Again, Gretzky with some speed up. Coming to the line. Gretzky to center. Marchman staying with him. He and Salming bump together, and Salming and Gretzky go to the ice. Kevin Lowe kept it in for a moment. Maloney comes back to help. Gretzky went after it, but it's cleared by Mano to Maloney at center. Dan Maloney slides a pass into Robert. He gets it front. Takes his time, roll it right to the crease. And it was cleared, and Gretzky comes out. Gretzky to center. Great action now. And it's dropped to Hughes. He got away from Mano, took a drive, and Larocque blocked that. And he holds on. Tonight's game is coming to you from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. Bob Cole with Mickey Redmond and Bobby Hull in the gondola at Maple Leaf Gardens, Toronto, and the Maple Leafs outshining the Edmonton Oilers tonight in what was billed as Gretzky and Edmonton Oilers night here in Toronto. But the Maple Leafs, led by Bunny Larocque, several others, lead 6-1. Here's Martin bidding for 7. Martin still after it, but it's cleared to center, and there's a penalty coming up against Terry Martin of the Toronto Maple Leafs. We have to go back a few years to remember these people. 1969-70. And let's go in on Mick with hair. Look at the head of hair, Bobby, on Mickey and those.
Leave it alone, you guys, will you? You're going to talk about those old haircuts. You know, there's one thing, Bobby.
Don't show me
can't
back
get
then.
those guys downstairs that got these pictures and spring them on you like this.
Aren't they something?
You have no
eh?
recourse, you know? A lot of good memories to bring back to that picture,
I
I'll tell
should
you.
say. Pretty good hockey club, wasn't it, Mick?
Oh, boy, oh, boy. What a great place to start and break in, and have guys like Bellevaux and Richard and Ferguson and all these fellows to learn from. And
Boy.
There you saw Martin's penalty, and there you see Terry Martin.
Your turn's coming.
Oh, I hear that. You know, it never fails. I'm sorry. Edmonton had a chance to score just before Toronto scored. It never fails. Generally, you miss one, and it goes right down to the other end, and they put it in on you.
Here's Anderson. Tried to get it in front for Gretzky and couldn't. Coffey gets set from the blue line. Rolled it in front of the net. Bunny Larocque, though, he has been steady all night. Not a difficult chance there, but nevertheless, alert enough to cover up and hang on to it. Normand Aubin with 2 goals and 2 assists for the Maple Leafs tonight. Paiement has a goal to go with 2 assists, as has Martin. This is Gretzky getting it back to Coffey. He played it back to Gretzky. He can't move on it. He was stopped. Now Coffey from the blue line. On the other side, it goes to Hagman to Coffey. The hard shot is knocked away from the net. Gretzky in the corner against Salming. The Leafs shoot it down the ice. 1:15 left in the penalty.
Notice the rushing Gretzky behind the net. They're not giving him a chance to get possession of the puck and make those plays from back there. They're sending a man on him right away.
Messier comes to center this time for Edmonton. Messier freewheeling it into the corner, center to Gretzky. Shoots, stopped by Larocque. It's still inside the line. Coffey over here. Played it on the other side. Low drive, stopped by Larocque. Great goaltending by Bunny Larocque tonight. Great pressure applied by the Edmonton Oilers on this power play, which now has 40 seconds left. Edmonton pouring in again. This is Lowe. Dropped it back near the point, and it hopped off his stick, and it goes into the crowd.
Matty Hagman again behind the Edmonton bench. He looks like he's smarting from a check taken out there moments ago.
Somewhere in his midsection, maybe his groin. Never can tell. Got his back to us.
The Oilers are a frustrated bunch here tonight. They've really had enough opportunities and good opportunities. Not necessarily, Bobby, do you get a lot of shots, you're going to score a lot of goals, but the chances Edmonton has had have been close in, good scoring chances.
I think, and I said it earlier, if there's a difference, I think it's that Larocque in the net. He stymied Edmonton early in the game. I think it set the pattern. Toronto came up big for him early in the game, and I think that's all he's needed to get a little cushion. And he's really challenging.
Well, you know how many times before you've seen it happen where if if a goaltender gets hot early in a game and doesn't allow a team to get untracked, like they didn't, or Larocque didn't here tonight with the Oilers, the next thing you know, your team is up 2 or 3. And for all purposes, if the team continues to go the same way, the hockey game is over, And that's exactly what they've done to the Oilers here tonight.
A little trivia, guys. What does Tom McCarthy, and I think he's in the Minnesota chain, and Steve Peters with Colorado in the Colorado chain, have in common with Wayne Gretzky? Well, back during the midget draft,
Well, you got me on that one.
I haven't got a clue.
during the midget draft,
You're going to come in here with trivia questions like that? You call that trivia? That's impossible.
Tom McCarthy was chosen first to play with Oshawa. Steve Peters chosen second to play in Niagara Falls. And a fellow by the name of Wayne Gretzky wasn't chosen until third.
How about
to
that?
play in the Sioux.
This is Hicks. Edmonton on a power play. Back in front of Curry's shot. Off the glass, it comes back in front to him. The covering was live, and he dumped it to center. That's enough, Bobby Hall, okay? 12:55 left in the game, 6-1 Toronto. And now Martin's penalty is over. He's back on. Lowe comes in. Dropped it along the blue line. It comes to Hicks. He took his shot, deflected by Martin. And Salming holds it. Gretzky trying to root it away. Salming holds it with a skate. It's still playable. Now the Maple Leafs, their leg go along pass up by Curry. Curry in front of Lumley. To Gretzky. Stopped by Lumley Larocque again. Unbelievable. He's got your number, Wayne.
He sure has.
12:17 left to play in this hockey game. It's been Toronto Maple Leafs and Bunny Larocque all the way. Coffey tries him now. Shot didn't get to the goaltender. It was deflected. Weir tipped it back for Hunter, but Martin's there, poking it to center. Paymon had it go off his skate. Riviere got it ahead to Weir. Weir left it, now played it into Hughes. Hughes against McGill. McGill bumped him along the boards. Weir comes in. Hughes tried to hook it back to the Riviere. It didn't work. And Martin is out to center ice with Paymon. Aubin, rather, into Paymon. Paymon shoots. And he missed the net on the short side. Weir back in with it. 11:35 left in the game. Edmonton moving up now. Hughes missed a chance. Near the line, it's out over. Paymon stole it. Maloney's pass ahead is knocked down. Paymon went after it again. But he was going to the Toronto bench. Kevin Lowe's pass to center ice. In goes Anderson with Messier. Messier got in front, couldn't handle it. Anderson has it. Got it back in front of the net, and Barry's shot was up high. The Leafs now clearing it too high over the glass into the crowd with 11:04 remaining in the game. You're looking at Wilf Paymon. Big night again for Wilf. Don Cherry was saying just last week that when Paymon plays that rough tumble style, he's very effective, and he has certainly been that way tonight.
He really has, Bob. He's got to play that rough type of hockey, but not take the bad penalties. He's had a problem with that in the past where he gets a little bit too rambunctious, but if he goes out there and plays hockey and just goes up and down and plays a good two-way brand with the toughness, he's certainly a very effective player.
The Edmonton Oilers, frustrated and stymied by Toronto Maple Leafs tonight, come back to center ice. That's Anderson with Messier. Messier has to circle back. Zanussi watching him. Anderson circles. They wind up and start away. Anderson comes to center. With Fogelin tipping it ahead, but it's knocked down the ice by Benning. Kevin Lowe back of the net. Off the boards. Messier to center. Here he is with Anderson catching up. Anderson going in to low, and his shot stopped by Larocque. Back of the net, it's centered, and Zanussi is there for Toronto to clear it down the ice. It'll go over the line and will be icing as Lowe goes in. With a score, Toronto 6, Edmonton 1. This is Hockey Night in Canada on CBC. Gentlemen, when you're looking at the Edmonton Oilers atop the National Hockey League in points gained so far, this has to be some kind of a psychological lift for the Toronto Maple Leafs if they can do this. And they're doing it with good goaltending, yes, but their full value for their 6 goals. Maloney shoots it from center. Fuhr out of the net to stop it. His streak will end tonight with only 10 minutes left of the game, unless Edmonton can pull out a near miracle. Bonnie Larocque has other ideas. He has been sensational tonight in the Maple Leaf goal. The Leafs back checking, get it out to center again. Boschman, the pass in behind Robert. Boschman trying to knock it in. He'll be offside. It's now called. Fuhr losing his streak tonight. This is his 25th game. He's lost only once. That's his very first one in the National League. 4-2 to Winnipeg. Then he went 23 in a row undefeated. Only 19 though. Great future.
Really impressed with a couple of other kids out there. First round draft choice Kevin Lowe. He's really impressed me with the Oilers. And I think Normand Aubin is chosen second in '79. And these two kids have shown that the scouts have done their job. I think the scouting for Edmonton Oilers has really proven that they're worth their weight in gold.
A very young team and already look very poised. Not tonight, though. Trailing by 5 against Toronto Maple Leafs. As you see Salming coming to center. Salming upended. Pulls the puck in. Still has it. Knocked down again is Borje Salming. The fans calling for a penalty. The play goes right on to Coffey. Back over on the other side. And Hicks will shoot it in for Edmonton. Mano goes back. Mano around the net. Here he comes. Larocque was upended by the Edmonton player coming by him. That was Hughes. At center. Hunter shoots a high one off the glass. It's in the mesh behind the Leaf net, and it's called. This game is coming to you from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. Here's Boschman. His play comes to the line. Larocque covering up. Gretzky and Salming on the ice holding each other. Back inside the Edmonton line. This is Kevin Lowe. Up to Lumley. Lumley tried to go in and was stopped. Mano got his stick on it. And the play is called. We've got a penalty coming up.
Borje Salming very reluctant to go to the penalty box, but I don't think there's any question about this. And Bobby, if he hadn't called it there, I think he called it because Salming was sitting on Gretzky for about a total of a minute.
He laid on Gretzky. Gretzky tried to get up, and he'd let him get up a little bit, and they'd lay it on him again. That takes a lot out of a kid, too.
He's got to be frustrated. They've been all over him tonight, really.
Yes, they have.
Now then, Edmonton again with a man advantage. This is Gretzky coming in. Stopped near the line. Gretzky played it over neatly. Comes back to Coffey. And goes in again to Lowe. Back to Coffey to Gretzky. Gretzky gets set from the blue line. Takes his time away from Zanussi. Pulls the defenseman along with him. Messier took the shot, broke his stick, and it was cleared by Zanussi down the ice. 1:24 left in the penalty to Borje Salming. Leaf penalty killers so far, so good. It's 6-1 Toronto. Messier with Anderson, Coffey. Gretzky stopped up the line. Coffey lost it. Zanussi to center, nearly broke away. He backs up again with it. Now shoots it ahead. Luce was waiting there near the Edmonton blue line. 57 seconds left in Salming's penalty. To center, Gretzky. Gretzky breaking in this time. Gretzky right in. Oh, Bonnie Larocque has stopped Gretzky again. Coffey from the blue line. In front it goes. Here's a chance for Anderson with Gretzky behind the net. Stopped by Boymstruck. They get a whistle and a face-off coming up in the zone. Toronto Maple Leafs 6 and Edmonton 1. As we welcome you viewers who have been watching the game, Calgary. It's been all Bunny Larocque and the Toronto Maple Leafs here tonight. Aubin has 2 for Toronto and 5 in the first period, made it 3-0. Anderson and Paymont in the second. Gretzky got the only goal for Edmonton up to this point. Martin for Toronto here in the third. Gretzky also took a penalty shot at 11:53 of the second period, and Larocque stopped him on that, and he has stopped him, I suppose, 8 or 9 times tonight. He was in cold. Larocque, folks, has been sensational. I'm Bob Cole, and with me in the gondola at Maple Leaf Gardens is Mickey Redmond and Bobby Hull, whom we welcome to our Hockey Night in Canada crew. We'll be showing you scores from Montreal as they come in also. The score here: Toronto 6, Edmonton 1. This is Hockey Night in Canada. At this moment, Borje Salming of the Toronto Maple Leafs gets ready to step back on. His penalty over. Edmonton trailing Toronto 6-1. Salming breaks out. A 2-on-1. Vibe is on the wing. Salming to Vibe. It never worked. As the Oilers got back, that was Lumley making a great defensive play. Curry comes in for Edmonton to Lumley. Gets in front, spun around. Weir can't find it. And they get a whistle for a face-off in the Toronto zone. 5:58 left in this hockey game. Vogelin lost it against Anderson. Messier goes back. Oilers winding up. Strong skating Messier gets away from Derlego, or does he? Derlego kicks it back over center. And the Leafs, Rick Vibe shooting it in. Going back is Kevin Lowe. Lowe played it on the boards in the corner. Barry waited too long. There's Vibe again, back of the net. He centered it. And it's grabbed by Barry and cleared to the line. Out to center goes Messier. Here's Anderson on the play. He couldn't go in. He's knocked to the ice by McGill. Vogelin from the blue line. A drive deflected, and Bunny Larocque, no problem, covered up and cleared it. Toronto 6, Edmonton 1. And it's Lowe going in. It comes to Anderson. Anderson faked the shot, now lets it go. And that was blocked. Larocque is 15 feet out of the net. And the puck bouncing off to the corner, and we're getting another penalty.
Looks like Lowe got involved with Larocque. Watch this. There's Lowe going right over top of Larocque.
You know, he's going to get a penalty for this, Bobby, but as you saw in the replay, that was not an intentional interference call at all. It looked like Bunny came out of his net to try and cut down the angle on Anderson shooting, and as Lowe jumped across the front, didn't even see him, he just landed on top of him.
Skated right in the way of Lowe coming out from the corner.
To stay in the crease.
Hey, Larocque can do anything he wants tonight.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
Edmonton may be down by 5, but I really like their style of play. They're wide open. They move that puck well. And this ice here at the Gardens looks as good as I've ever seen it look. They're moving that puck well, and whoever's making the ice, they're doing a good job of it. That puck is staying down. It isn't bouncing, and they're moving that puck well. They're not having a great night tonight, Edmonton, but I can see what a very entertaining hockey club they can be. Talking to Coach Sather, he's trying to implement a little bit of the European style in here, along with North American style.
Dougie Moore, for your information, Bobby, and for the information of fans across the country, is the chief ice maker here at Toronto. It's called the Jet Ice, and he claims it's the best in the country. It's hard and fast.
Makes good ice, plays a good guitar.
Oh, yes.
Some character, isn't he?
Great fellow.
He did quite a job here at the Gardens, Dougie and his crew.
Martin slipped away from Vogelin's check. Weir goes in behind the net. Dropped it into the corner. Vogelin has it. Looks for the opening to clear it to center ice. Brackenbury is number 15 for Edmonton. And he's cruising about. It's called in the offside now. Martin was in. 4:28 remaining Michel Bunny Larocque, 34 shots tonight. He has been sensational.
I don't think in anybody's mind that this gentleman is not going to be the first star this evening. I'd be very surprised if he wasn't.
Well, something drastic would have to happen
Whoever's
for
picking him.
Bunny not to get the first star with only 4.5 minutes left.
Well, he waited a long time to get that first victory. It only came a few weeks ago, but well, he has really played some solid goal for Mike Nicolak and the Leafs since then. They were saying even today that Toronto getting beat last night in Buffalo 8-2, that Larocque played a pretty good hockey game, and it could have been a lot worse if he hadn't been standing tall in that net.
Goaltender so very important. Glenn Hall used to win 10 games all by himself in Chicago. Tony Esposito 1 year, 15 shutouts. I don't know whether the whole league has 15 shutouts this year or not, have they?
No, I don't think so. I don't know for sure. But the last time I was in Montreal, Ronnie Andrews was, of course, bringing up the stats, and there's not too many shutouts around.
Edmonton shorthanded and down by 5 goals. This one is just about in the record books. The Maple Leafs winding up. Came on, stopped near the line, and another penalty coming up. A slashing call. It's not a night for the Edmonton Oilers.
Kurt Brackenberry again getting involved, I think. He's going to get the 2-minute infraction call.
How does Kirk
get it here in the replay? Looks like he put the lumber pretty good to Rennie Robert. Chop, chop.
Rennie made a pretty good play to move the puck around, but Brackenberry, I don't think, goes through too many games without getting a penalty, does he?
Well, he's had 3 shifts tonight and 2 minor penalties.
Pretty good average. Not a record, but it's a pretty good average.
Well, he gets it. You know, he reminds me a lot of Bob Kelly from Philadelphia.
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you, they get out on that ice, and he just goes and goes and goes. And he's the type of guy that Sather will throw in there, and really to get things going out there. He's a real tenacious type of a hockey player. He likes to mix it up a little bit. Unfortunately, he's taking some penalties, but
we had a few back when Reggie Fleming, you guys like that.
So now the Maple Leafs have a 2-man advantage. 43 seconds left in the penalty to Lowe's. The Leafs come in. This is Robert getting set. Robert got in front, and Fogelin fell. Got back up. 5 went behind the net. 5 in the corner was bumped by Hicks. Derlego gets it loose. Derlego takes a look near the line. Robert gets set. He'll give it to Derlego. Maybe back to Robert. No, it goes back of the net to 5. Nobody there but Mano out here near the line. Mano gets ready, closing in. Right in front, Derlego. Mano gets set from the line. Rolled into the side of the net. The Leafs with a 2-man advantage, and now a 1-man advantage as Lowe is back on. And we welcome you viewers who have been watching the Montreal-Philadelphia game. It's 6-1 for Toronto here. The Leafs on a power play, looking for number 7. This is Mano circling near the line. Great pressure. Circles. Hicks watching him. Here's Mano in front of Anderson. Backhand shot. Deflected high up over the net. Mano gets set. Took a drive. And that was wide of the net. Into the corner. It's cleared back in front. Fuhr stopped. Miller shot. They score. Rick 5. Finally, what tremendous pressure exerted by Toronto Maple Leafs. And now Vide scores, making it 7-1.
Well, it was just a matter of time. The Leafs all over Edmonton. They started with a 2-man advantage. And the first penalty had expired when the Leafs finally scored, but Derlego, a good shot from the corner, and Vide just blasts that wrist shot rebound right behind Grant Fuhr. But the Leafs have just really been impressive tonight, Bobby.
They had pressure on that whole power play. That was a great power play. They moved that puck around. It went from side to side. They didn't get anxious to shoot it from out at the blue line. They moved it in and around from the corner and out in front.
The Leafs led 3-0 at the end of one. 5-1 at the end of the second period. The only goal for Edmonton tonight has been scored by Wayne Gretzky, his 57th on the season. And for the information of you people who have been watching the Montreal game, Gretzky also took a penalty shot in this game, and Bunny Larocque, who has been a sensation tonight for Toronto, made the save. A one-on-one penalty shot. Gretzky went right in, made a couple of moves, and Larocque came up big, and he's been doing it all night. Down at the other end, you're looking at 19-year-old Grant Fuhr, who has gone 23 games undefeated and is about to lose that streak tonight. With 1:50 left in the game, Toronto leading 7-1. I'm Bob Cole with Mickey Redmond and Bobby Hull as the other voice in our broadcast booth tonight, as we welcome him to the Hockey Night in Canada broadcast crew. Having fun, Bobby?
I'm really enjoying it. This was a great game to get broken in on.
LaRiviere comes with Lumley. Lumley going in. Lumley to the corners, gets it back in front of Maloney, was there to break it up and send it back. 1:15 left in the game. A jammed house here in Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. They've been buzzing even before the puck was dropped in by Wally Harris at the beginning of the game. This young man, Aubin, has 2 goals and 2 assists. Paymont circles, gets it back to the line. Melrose keeps it in. Aubin let it slide to the corner. There's Aubin in front. And Grant Fuhr, watch the backhander, made the save. Sticks go high, pushing and shoving. And we might get penalties this time. Some roughing going on, but nobody has thrown a punch yet. Their nerves have been frayed, and they have been a little testy lately.
I don't think we need any of this. Edmonton, sure, frustrated, but the game is just about over. There's only 55 seconds left, and I don't think we should end this game any other way than Toronto walking away with a 7-1 win.
The Oilers, again, we mentioned earlier, have not been playing well of late. Their road record has not been what Glenn Sather would like it to be, and they've got another game tomorrow in Detroit before they return home. And this is the type of thing that Sather was hoping would not happen to this hockey club. They've got a tremendous lead in the standings, in their division, in their conference, and it's really difficult at times, and especially with the hype concerning Wayne Gretzky and the press conferences and all the reporters. And I think it's taken its toll here tonight in this hockey club, and I'm sure we're going to see Glenn Sather cutting down on a lot of this, say, the limelight for this hockey club to get them prepared going into the playoffs, because they've certainly had a tremendous first half of the year.
I'd give the team, I wouldn't even let them come near the rink if they had a little layoff. I'd get them right away, but they could get a little stale.
They went into Washington, tied it, but allowed 6 goals. And Philadelphia put 8 by him. And Grant Fuhr tonight, as his undefeated streak of 23 ended, as Toronto leads now 7-1 and 32 seconds left to play. Edmonton starting out. Up to the line at center. This is Anderson getting in front. Anderson gets set. Can't shoot it. Is in too far. Back of the net. He centered it. A break for the Leafs to center. Paymont, Martin, and Aubin catching up. Paymont shoots. And Fuhr stopped that. Covering on the short side. 10 seconds left. Paymont again. Side of the net. Try to jam it in. 5 seconds left. There's the countdown. You can hear it. Robert knocked away from the net. And the game is over. The Toronto Maple Leafs, Mickey Redmond and Bobby Hull, have come through behind sensational goaltending Money Larocque tonight to give the Edmonton Oilers a bit of a lesson and walk away with a 7-1 win. But Edmonton had, in all fairness to the Oilers, many chances as the fans here at the Gardens give the Leafs a standing ovation as they go off. But Larocque was great.
Well, it's certainly a well-deserved standing ovation too, Bob. I think a lot of people came here tonight, this weekend, looking for the Edmonton Oilers to beat the Toronto Maple Leafs. They've not been playing that well at home, and Toronto a well-deserved victory tonight.
Thank you, Mickey, and thank you, Bobby Hull. In just a moment, our Molson Cup 3-star selection. Ladies and gentlemen, here are tonight's Molson Cup 3-star selections. The first star, Michel Bunny Larocque. The second star, Normand Aubin. And the third star, Wilf Paymont.
Hockey Night in Canada returns in just a moment.
Three stars are announced, and the Maple Leafs are a big-time winner this evening, 7-1 over the Edmonton Oilers, as Grant Fuhr has a 23-game unbeaten streak snapped as the Leafs win at home with a lopsided victory. You're watching Molson Canadian Sunday Night Classics on Leafs TV.